Nimona is a movie, and an epic movie at that. But the movie was just boring because it lacked originality in its story. It was boring because I could tell that they used recycled materials, recycled stories from other animated projects, and they just washed them up, gave it a good budget, made it look clean and nice, gave it a new fresh cast, and boom, they made a movie. That was all they did. Nothing new, nothing special. Most of the things that they were even focusing in the movie are things that we've seen before in previous movies. And I'm here to prove it to you. Nimona will be my reference point of what animated movies have finally become. It's too real. They add too many real things into these movies. Like reality is being pushed into these movies. The sole purpose of animated movies in the past were made to, be a means of escape from reality. They were made to like create worlds out of drawings, character designs that were made to just stand out, to push you from reality and say, whoa, there is a world that can be created like this, immerse yourself in a new experience. That was what animations were meant for, to break the boundaries, tell you stories that you would have never imagined that could be told. But now we are being forced to swallow down on the same thing over and over with different art styles, different animations, and different casts. Because now, rather than going to the cinemas and sitting down to enjoy a movie where you can forget your problems and forget about the issues that society have, we end up sitting down in a movie for over 2 hours and we are bombarded with the same problems, even on a much bigger and much more ridiculous scale. Why? Because they believe that there is profit in showing the people things that are happening in real life. And for a time, yes, it was actually fun. For a time, we could say, this character is relatable. Oh, we could see ourselves in these characters. Yes, reality is really like this. There's no real good or evil. People are just misunderstood. Even the bad guys in these movies are not really the bad guys. They're just people that had good intentions, but they were twisted, they were warped, or some kind of evil force entered into their body and their mind will just suddenly change. Like, all of those garbage is becoming too much. Movies are no longer fun anymore because now we're focusing more on the characters' emotional well-being, society's well-being. Case in point, the Queen's death in the Monas. To me, that thing was not even necessary. The Queen's death was not even necessary in the first place. Why? Because Ballista was not supposed to be part of the Knights, if that's what the director was saying. She doesn't see a commoner having a place in the knighthood. Okay, no problem, fine. This boy was put under your care. Teach him, train him, and build him to be a knight. You could have easily gotten rid of the boy. You could have given him difficult challenges, altered his test scores, made him flunk out, things like that. But no, you trained him to be one of the best, the very best, top of his class for that matter. And you gave him a sword that would kill the queen. Why? Because you wanted to make him the villain so that people will be scared of a commoner that became a knight because you want to protect the kingdom from monsters that are over the wall. Like, make it make sense though. You are just creating fear and terror in the people you are sworn to protect because you want to defend them from the monsters that are over the wall. I don't get. Then you try to say that Ballista is working with the monsters. She didn't even say that until Nimona appeared. That was when she made the story that Ballista is working with the monsters to destroy the kingdom. Like, that doesn't make any sense. The director was supposed to be the villain. She was supposed to be a bad guy that probably wanted the seat for herself to control the knights, the army, the way she wanted to. That would have been a better story to create rather than trying to go through all this twisted pattern that they just ended up wasting so much time and so much story on. Ballista is a confused character, to be honest. The guy is not a villain, but they made him out to be a villain. And he's now teamed up with Nimona, who is not actually a villain. There are no villains in this story. Everyone's claiming to be a bad guy, but they're not a bad guy. Like, why? Why play around with the idea when there is no legit bad guy? Heck, even when they finally expose the director for her evil deeds, people still side with her because she's able to prove that Nimona is a monster. It doesn't make any sense to me. Make it make sense. Movies were meant to be an escape from reality. That is why superheroes exist. We can't fly, we can't shoot lasers from our eyes, but these characters are made so that we can actually believe that they do. A way to engage with other worldly characters. But now we are being forced to chalk down on so much reality-based opinions. It's like the writers are coming to the studio and giving like their own experiences into these characters in the worst way possible. Ambrosius and Ballista's relationship is the most complicated, and it's not because they are even gay, it's just because they don't understand each other. Heck, I don't even see their relationship working out in the best way possible because in a situation where your lover is actually shown to be a bad guy, you can't even make up your mind and say, okay, this is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to do for the kingdom. The only thing you could do was cut off his arm, and that was all you could do. That was literally the only thing you could do in the entire movie. Aside from that, all you do was whine, complain, and question everything around you. Even when Balasa told you to stand with him, you couldn't even stand with him. You couldn't even look him in the eye and say, "Bro, let's talk. Let's really get down to these matters." No, but if the director tells you something you believe over the man that you claim you love, like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't see why all these things are happening. Like, I watched the movie and I was like, yo, is this real life here? Like, what am I watching? I couldn't enjoy the movie because I was just constantly reminded of what is happening in society today. These people were just out here making mistakes. Like, dude, even the knights that they are saying that they protect the kingdom, they're not even that good. If a mere commoner could beat everybody, even the direct descendant of Glorious couldn't actually even stand on a 1v1 with Ballista. Like, what chance does the kingdom have in surviving any monster attack if they actually came to attack the kingdom? And from what I could even see, they are not even prepared for this stuff. Only Nimona was able to take down more like half of the city on her own without any assist. Imagine if they were like five or they were like dragons. Like, how would you even fight all these things? I don't even see why they even bothered with all of these things in the movie. It's just lacking. I'm honestly confused and it's just lacking. And Gloriet has to be the biggest fraud of them all because you are defending the kingdom against only one person, against only Nimona, who was your friend, and you're defending the kingdom against her. That doesn't make any sense to me. That does not make any sense to me. So you're basically telling me that, oh, all the so-called monsters that you fought against were just only one person. And I'm very sure Nimona didn't even bother after that one time, but they made her to be the Lord and Savior of the entire kingdom. Like, guy, make it make sense, bro. The story was lazy. The writing was lazy. Overall, I just enjoyed the animation and the fast-paced movements, and that's all I could get from this whole thing. And I still like the little quirky, funny jokes inside. Those were all that mattered to me. But that's all that we get now. They're pursuing a vague reality where we do not even understand what the kind of world we are living in, and you're trying to push all of that into an animated movie based on one person's opinion. Because when you're writing things to, it's not like you're asking the entire people, like, yo, what do you think? It's just a few people's opinion crammed into a story that you used to create a movie.